Well, hello and welcome, my beautiful, beautiful gentlemen. Wait, why is that? There we go. Connected. Trying to get it to connect to my AirPods Pro, because we're pros around here, or not. Dude, what the hell? Anyways, welcome as I sort out my AirPod Pros. Thank you for joining me on this live Q&A in my lingerie. Yes, freaking connect. There we go. We're connected. Thank you guys so much for being here. I'm excited. I love doing these with you guys. This is so much fun for me. And you guys are already full blown, full speed. I see it in the chat box. You guys are loading in those questions. And so with that being said, without further ado, I shall put on my glasses and start reading and start answering away at your questions, because men, guess what? Your questions are valuable. Your needs are valuable. Your voice is valuable. The things that you feel matter. In case no one has told you that today, the things that keep you up at night, those things matter. No one's told you that. I'm telling you that today. The deep questions that you have inside of your heart, if no one's told you, guess what? They matter. They absolutely matter. So I'm so grateful that we have this platform so that we can address these things. We can talk about these things. And if you're new here, my name is Arica Angelo, and I've been working with men for over 10 years, 12 years, something like that. And I help men become the kind of man that she just cannot resist. Can't resist you, boo-boo. But while not losing yourself or her, because we never want you to lose yourself in the process. What's the point of getting a woman if you lose your identity as a man? Not cool. Not cool. So I'll put on these glasses. And if you are new here, make sure that you subscribe, because I'm known to do some pretty random live videos. So let's read these. First up to bat, we've got Robert Souter, number 35. He says, I want to say thank you for all that you talk about. I appreciate it all, romantic and sex. Being an alpha male and emotional warrior, I take it to heart. Thanks, sweetie. Wow, that's so gracious. Thank you so much. There's nothing like getting it started off with some gratitude. Thank you. That's super, super, super kind. Thank you for that, darling. It's my pleasure. This is my heart. I do believe that everyone deserves love. And I believe sometimes it can be a little bit more challenging for men. Whoa, because society has not been a man's favor for communicating his emotions, being connected to his heart, being a lover. Society has more equipped men to be providers and performers and hunters, but not like able to live like from here. So that's why I love doing what I do. So Ninja Wolf says, does the old wives' tale and the lunar calendar have nothing to do with choosing the gender of a baby with a girlfriend or wife? That is such a random question. Where did you come up with that? As I drink my green tea with coconut oil. I have no idea, man. I don't know. That's outside of my pay grade. That's not the kind of advice I give, boo. But he does say, I want to thank you for making my life a lot better with the help of a mirror work, Eric, with the help of mirror work. Oh, you're doing it. Ninja Wolf, that is awesome. I'm so glad that you're doing that mirror work because it's super powerful. I've talked about this in some of my other live videos, but yeah, there's nothing like getting in front of a mirror and talking to yourself and telling yourself like, what's up, and not the bad shit. The good stuff, because there's plenty of good stuff in all of you men. I come from the mindset and belief system that every heart is good, but most of us have lived in so much shame that we can't access that. All right. Where's the question? You guys are so kind. I see a lot of compliments today, and I really appreciate that. Thank you. I do have to read this because it's quite funny. Mayor. Sometimes you guys say the craziest stuff. I told you one of the funniest comments I ever read is like, why women aren't aren't attracted to you. And someone wrote this comment, and when I read it on my phone, this is how I heard it. Because they're too stupid to like me back. But this guy says, I want to puke whenever I see this ugly woman. Trust me, she gives me a feeling of food scarcity and Sahara Desert. Man, you guys are ruthless. I'm sorry whenever you see that ugly woman that causes that reaction in you, darling. Richard says, I just started watching your videos today. Wow, welcome, babe. And I can't stop. Such great advice. You're amazing. I have also been thinking of visiting Bali, looking for a great place to retire. I love my life in Bali. My little palm trees in the back. Thank you so much. I'm so glad that you're loving the advice and the videos, and welcome to your first live video. Okay, now it's just jumped because I see a penis question coming for me. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Let me get to your penis question. And Chris says, I'm looking forward to your encouragement and your words of wisdom. You're a godsend. Thank you, darling. I always like to encourage you guys at the end of these. Okay, Robert, YouTube is blocking your comment, but that's very sexual, and I'm about it. I like it. He's basically saying he's been having some amazing sex with a woman, and his adjectives are very descriptive, and I'm loving it. Thank you. Someone says, I love the earrings. Someone says, hi, Eric. You guys are like full of compliments. Normally it's like tons of questions. I'm just trying to find a question. Hi, Erica. Can't stop listening to you. One love, girl. God blessings to you. Thank you, darling. Welcome, Jason from Texas. Well, here's a good one. Daniel, what is the best way to get over being jealous? That is a great question. Typically, you have to ask yourself, like, where is the jealousy coming from? So jealousy can normally stem from abandonment. If we've been abandoned by our parents, and whether it's physically, emotionally, where love has been withheld, when we get into relationships, that plays out and we go, oh my God, this person can be taken away from me. They can be stolen from me. Because as a child, I had that experience where mom and dad just withheld their love from me just like that. And I felt abandoned emotionally, physically, So ask yourself, like, is there some abandonment there? Because what happens is when we just focus on the jealousy and we don't understand where it comes from, it continues to manifest. You can almost tame it down, and there are some things that you can do to tame it down. On a logical side, you can have a conversation with your partner and say, listen, just being real with you, like, I'm doing my best. This is not something that I enjoy about myself, but I really would like to get some resolve around this. So if this could be an open conversation between us, I would really appreciate that. And when you feel that moment of jealousy, like connecting back to your partner, just instead of getting into a fight, instead of letting the anger, run to love. Hold her hand, squeeze her in tight, love on her, and let that calm down your neurological system. Like, okay, I'm not being abandoned. I'm being held. I'm being loved right now, and I'm safe, and it's okay. I hope that helps. Why women hate guys' mom? Babe, is that a question? I'm not really sure. Not all women do hate guys. What kind of women are you hanging out with? Oh, gosh, you guys, some of the stuff in here is really crazy today. Like, is there something going on with the moon? What is happening? What's all of these random things? Cayman Music says, I want to know, why do men attract women without giving them any attention? Some guys, it's an energy. Like, some guys have that energy where it's just like, he's an alpha male. He's an emotional warrior. He walks through life pretty confidently, and women take notice. So he doesn't even have to go out of his way to attract attention. Attention comes to him. You've seen people like this. This is men and women. Like, those people who have that je ne sais quoi about them, where they're just comfortable in their own skin. They go through life like, yeah, I'm the hot stuff. I'm worth paying attention to. The rest of the world, it's they go, oh yeah, we do see you. So that's why sometimes a guy doesn't even have to do anything, and women just start paying attention to him. It's all about energy. Like I always say, energy don't lie. So that's why it's so much. I put so much importance on you guys, like cultivating yourselves to become an emotional warrior, so that you don't have to play a lot of the games and the gimmicks that most advice gives you. If you go to the emotional warrior page, which I can put it on here for you guys, but one of the things that I say on the emotional warrior page, you can scroll down and it says, why has most dating and relationship advice failed you? Because a lot of guys feel like a lot of advice has failed them. And I say, because most advice goes through the logic, it doesn't go through the heart. So when you don't feel good about yourself, that's an energy, that's a vibration you're putting off. Other people feel that. And so when you do feel good about yourself, other people are like, hey, I want to be a part of that. It's like when you hear a bunch of people shouting and there's a big crowd, what's a natural thing for humans to do? To run to the crowd. We follow that energy, that excitement. It's the same thing. When someone's excited and feeling good about themselves, other people want to be in that person's vicinity. Is 5, so here's the sex question. Here we go. Back to penises. I mean, let's not get off topic here. Let's get to Fremunda Johnson's topic. He says, is 5 inches big? It depends on the woman's vagina, babe. Like 5 inches to one woman may be huge if she has a smaller vagina. And then if she has a rather large vagina, then maybe it's not so huge for her. But I'm of the mindset of the belief that it's not, what is it? It's not the size of the ship. It's the motion of the ocean. I know men have been so like inundated to like get so obsessed about their size. But some guys who are not as big, listen, let's just keep it real. Like, this is like, I'm going to talk to you guys like I would talk to my girlfriends and what we would say to each other. Is some guys can have really big penises and then be really terrible in bed because they don't know what to do, because they're like, I have big penis, I don't have to learn how to use it. And then they have sex with you like an ape, and it's like, oh, did you orgasm? Not at all. And so that's not good sex. Like, it's not fun. And women don't go around going, oh my God, he was so great. They go, it was big, but he didn't know what the hell he was doing with it. So what a waste. There are some guys who have smaller penises, and because they have studied, which I have tons of videos talking about sex here, because they've studied and they've learned what to do with their penis, they can bring women so many orgasms because they know exactly what they're doing. So I wouldn't get too obsessed with size, Fremunda. I would become more obsessed with how can I learn how to use what I have to bring women multiple upon multiple orgasms. How do you think Android woman in the next 40 years will affect men-female relationships? Well, hopefully, Richard, we all evolve and we quit playing so many damn games and we actually just connect with each other from the heart. That's what I hope to see in the next 40 years. Next question. Robert Stewart says, Arica, I love yourself, and I just want to know, how do you Zoom calls? You are the greatest. Your words are the best encouragement. I just do Zoom calls with my private clients. So you're always welcome to check out my coaching page for that. Oh, I never put the emotional warrior link in there. Whoops. There it is. Boom. Okay. This is a great question. Clayton Wilson. Clayton, I wonder where you're from. He says, as I go to answer it, and then YouTube quickly scrolls to the very bottom. Where did it go, Clayton? Why are women so indirect with their emotions? One, just like men have been shamed with their emotions, so have women. Women have been told, you're too much. Women are crazy. I mean, I think we're stopping saying that. Maybe guys say that behind closed doors, but I don't think we say women are crazy anymore. Just like I don't think, hopefully women aren't saying that men are dumb and stupid. Hopefully we don't say that anymore. So women have been shamed for their emotions. So what they think is that they have to put up this wall, this exterior with men. Like, if you can't beat them, join them. And so because men don't show their emotions, it's like, oh, well, I got to play with him at his own game. I got to beat him at his own game, which means, well, I'm not going to share my emotions with you. So most of the time when a woman is not sharing her emotions, it's because she feels shame about her emotions. Now, I'm not saying this is men's fault or women's fault, anyone's fault. It's your responsibility. Like, if you have shame, it's your responsibility to go, okay, I have shame. It wasn't my fault why it's here, but it is my responsibility to heal it and get some clarity in it. So typically when a woman has shame around her emotions, she's going to be immensely indirect. She's not going to be straightforward because she doesn't feel confident enough to display those. She's afraid of getting hurt, so she goes into self-protection mode. So she starts disguising what's going on as opposed to just being upfront. And sometimes there's also a flip side. Sometimes women are not going to tell you what's going on because a lot of women don't want to hurt men's feelings. Like, if she's not into you, she's not going to tell you, ooh, this feels good. She's not going to tell you, you know, I'm not attracted to you, or you need to get your life in order. Like, she's not going to tell you those things because women have been taught not to hurt people's feelings. And I think sometimes that is appropriate. I think just, you know, coming out and telling people harsh things like that, it's like, you know, you have to be really gentle with people. Okay. All right. Next question. Ooh, Brian Hardman. Woo, bring it hot. Oh, sorry, I skipped Roger's question. Do you ever interact with any of the red-pilled guys on YouTube, such as Rolo? I've never heard of these guys. So to answer your question, apparently not, because I've never heard of them. Brian has a really good question. Welcome, Mike from Canada, Canadian. Can you speak to openness and communication regarding STD tests and general safety? Absolutely. I think that this is a question that you definitely, if you're going to be seeing someone, one, I mean, you should always be wearing protection. But, you know, let's be honest, not everyone does. Even on first dates, people don't. So one thing you have to ask, have you been tested? And listen, not everyone's going to tell you the truth. Some people are going to lie about that. If you have an STD, yeah, you need to be upfront with people. You can't just go having sex with people with STDs. If you're going to be consistently having sex with someone, I feel like, Brian, what you're trying to indirectly ask me is, look, I want to have sex with a woman without a condom, and so how do we protect ourselves in this? I feel like this is an indirect question. I could be wrong, but you absolutely have to be upfront and say, hey, I think we need to get, if you're going to be having sex with a woman with no condom and you're concerned about your safety, you have to say, listen, I think it's a great idea and I think exclusivity needs to be mentioned to that. If you and I are going to be having sex without a condom, that we do not have sex with other people without a condom, because that's not fair to either one of us. I think that we should get tested, and I think we need to share our results with one another, and that needs to be an agreement that we come to, that we, if we're, you know, having sex with each other without a condom, that it stays there and that we don't do that with everyone else. Let me know, Brian, if that's helpful. But yes, I think the direct approach and quickly is very important. Oh, someone says, you have a nice breeze going through your villa while doing this live chat. I really like your live chat on Wednesday evenings. Thank you, Arica. Oh, thank you, darling. Actually, so I have open living and I have a fan because it's open living. I think I've showed you this before. I can put my tea down, but I don't know if you guys can see. So yeah, it's all open. So there's my pool over there. And then my bedroom is enclosed with air conditioning. And I've been shooting some YouTubes from there. So you guys will have to tell me if you like them from the bedroom. But it's just sometimes it can be so loud out here with motorbikes that it's not fun for my video editor to have to deal with that. Eric Renberg, this is a great question. Yeah. Oh, and one of the guys in my Facebook community from my Emotional Warrior Facebook community, he was like, "What do you do about bugs and mosquitoes?" And I told him, I said, "Geckos have become my best friend. Like this villa doesn't have so many, but my last villa had a gecko this big that just lived there, and we would just talk all the time. He'd be like, gecko, and I'd be like, yeah, I'm having a great day. How about you? And then he would respond back with the same gecko. It was quite the relationship. Where was that question? Okay, Eric says, but I'm going to come back to Chris's question because I overlooked that. And that's a great question, Chris. Eric says, what do I do if I've lost my sex drive since I met my new lady? That's a great question. So I would ask, is there something that's occurred? Sorry, I just had to hide a user because he was just being so stupid and inappropriate. He's not stupid, but he was being really stupid. You have to ask yourself, did you have a sex drive before this person? That's first and foremost. What was it like? And has something occurred in the relationship that has made you feel emasculated as a man? I wanted to ask you that question. Ask yourself that. Is there something that happened in this relationship that I don't feel as manly and I've lost my sex drive? Or did she say something to you? This is a question you have to ask yourself, like, what occurred with this woman? Or, on the flip side, are you even really attracted to her sexually? Because that's another thing. If you're not very attracted to her sexually, that's a very simple answer. But my guess is, and when I say guess, sometimes I get these little intuitive hunches that somewhere in this relationship you got emasculated, and maybe something she accidentally said, a slip of the tongue, but really hit a sore spot inside of you. And when sometimes when men get triggered this way, things just quit working below. So I'm curious, like, ask yourself those questions and let me know what pops up for you. Oh yeah, and also if you guys would give this video a thumbs up, that always helps me. Chris, this is a very good question. I'm going to have a sip of tea. How do you get over being hurt from a woman? How can a man heal himself? Well, I just did a call with a potential client today who was in this exact same situation. He came on one of my live videos and liked one of my answers, and we just had a call. And I suggested to him the Emotional Warrior program because it's a lot of what it's about. And the links in there, Chris. And you come here often, so you definitely should check that page out. Listen, when we've been hurt by someone, it's a process to be healed. I was just telling this person today who was thinking of doing that program, time does not heal all wounds, because in order for a wound to be healed, it has to be looked at, it has to be exposed. It's just like if you get a deep cut, they say let the air hit it so it can heal. It's the same thing. Like, unless we shine a light on it, unless we expose it for what it is. So for you, Chris, I would say, like, what was the hurt? What did she do to hurt you? And then from there, we go through the process of having someone validate that. I'm so sorry that she did that to you. What happened there was not okay. You didn't deserve that. And then we replace it with the truth. The truth is that you're really lovable. The truth is that this woman, and I'm just going on a tangent, like, the truth is this woman, was in a really scary place, and she didn't know how to be kind nor loving to herself. And so in retrospect of that, she had very little to give to you. But I'm so sorry that you were hurt in the process. But healing, Chris, is an active thing. It's not a passive thing. It just, in my experience, I don't want to say it's always that way. There are times where healing can be a very miraculous thing, but oftentimes, more so, healing is a very participant, active thing. You have to participate with your own healing. So, Chris, I would suggest that the first place that you start with is what hurt the most, and start having a conversation around that. Okay, next question. That is a good suggestion. Abhishek Kumar, sorry if I didn't say your name correctly. Uh, he says, make a full video on an emotional warrior, please. You know what? That is so overdue. You're exactly right. I will definitely do just that. That's a great idea. Thank you, darling. Is 9.5 inches good? Ken, did you see my response to the other one? If you don't know how to use it, no, it's not. If you know how to use it, yeah, it's great. James Beal, this is a good question. He says, is it best, I think you're trying to say, is it best to start with a girl on social media or face to face? I have a funny and weird question. Are you ticklish? If so, where? Please answer. Okay, James. So I personally like. It depends. Like, how are you? I always think meeting a person in person is the best way. But if you're shy, if you're socially awkward, then maybe you want to build it up over social media. But if you're really good with people and you connect with people, face to face is the best way because they can feel your energy, they can see your mannerisms, they can smell you, they can touch you. You know, that's the best way to connect with people is in person. But for some people who are a little bit socially awkward, you know, sometimes social media can be a safe place for them to build that connection up. Uh, Next question. Oh, thank you. Someone said they love my glasses. Hi, Kim. I always love to give a shout out to Kim because Kim's like our woman who comes in here and she'll like as I'm talking, she'll give advice to the guys and she always gives really good advice. And I just love that about her. Thank you for being here and for being so supportive of these guys. Mike Barnholden says, hello, Arica. Well, hi, Mike. How do I start approaching women with confidence in public like the gym? I think that's a great conversation to have. So when a woman is in the middle of the workout, worst time to do it. If you like her gym clothes, because, you know, women are getting really clever with their workout clothing, like give her a compliment on her workout gear. Like, I really like your workout outfit. Where'd you get that from? It's really nice. It looks good on you. And then you go into like, do you come to this gym often? What are you training? Like, what are you working on right now? Are you doing cardio? Or are you doing muscles? How long have you been coming to the gym? And then eventually you want to get it to the point where you ask her out for a coffee, you ask her out for a glass of wine to get her from the gym on an actual date. And it just skipped. Okay. All right. Where is the next question? Because it just jumped all the way down. Shit. You've got beautiful skin. Love it. Thank you, man. Houston. Welcome, Houston, Texas. Okay. Why do women put so many men under spells, and why is it so hard to break the spell? Wow, that's a great question. You know, I don't know if it's necessarily spells. I think that women can impact certain men. It just depends on like what you need. And when you find someone that comes in and ticks all those boxes, it's very easy to be spellbound by them. I think that goes for men and women because there are some women who feel the same way about men. Essentially, what that person does when we say they've cast a spell on me or whatever, it's they ticked a lot of boxes and they connected with us in a way that we really needed. And so so you're not just like, oh my God, it's just that person. The reality is that there is also someone else who can do the same thing, just with experience. You think it's just that one person, and then you give it some time. You're like, and here comes another person who's been able to affect me the same way. So they've ticked some boxes and they've also touched your heart in ways that really needed to be touched. Clayton, I'm glad that advice resonated. He said she's hurt from the past experience. Well, thank you. That explains her. I'm so glad that helped. Brian, I knew it. I knew you were talking around. I was like, this guy is totally talking around this. He's not just being direct to me. And he said, you found my voice. Yeah. Okay, babe. I had a feeling. I was like, this is going around. Oh, this is like life advice. Yup. How should you approach someone at work who's been gossiping about you behind your back? Well, it depends on your personality, but I'm pretty confrontational, so I would just probably walk straight up to them and say, hey, you and I need to talk. I heard you've been saying these things. What is that about? Is there truth to that? All right. Next question. Stripe 1. Should you kiss, sleep on the first date, meet? I know women got that expectation on kissing on the first date, and if you don't, they get disappointed and lose interest. Is that all women, or better to wait? Listen, I always say this, like, it's always best to follow your instincts. This is why I'm so big on empowering men to become the fullest expression of themselves, to become an emotional warrior, the alpha male with heart, because you want to follow your instincts. There's no set rules for like every woman that this works with. So, some women, like, if you're feeling that vibe and you want to kiss her, then freaking kiss her. And then, there's some women, they get so attracted to men and they're so turned on to them that, yes, they end up having sex on the first date. So what I'm saying is, it's more important for you to get connected to your own instincts and what resonates with you. And if she's giving you that open vibe, she's touching you, she's laughing, she's giggling with you, you have to go in for the kiss, because if that's what you're feeling, move forward with it, because she's going to respect that energy. All right, I'm going to answer one more question because we are at the Love Takes Time. That's a good song, Ivan. Thank you for that. Okay, last question. Damn, it just jumped again. Okay, Mike, I'm glad that advice resonated. Yeah, start talking to these girls at the gym. Go up to them. And the more you do, the more comfortable you're going to feel. But Mike, also, if you're really shy, because you just told me you're shy and you get nervous, start with people that women you're not attracted to. Don't go for the gold just yet. Get comfortable just talking to strangers, and period. Do it at the grocery store. Do it everywhere. Not just women, men, old ladies. Why? Because you get into that habit. You develop that muscle of overcoming your shyness. But if you walk up to a woman that you find really hot and you just try to apply this, I feel like that's overstepping. Like, give yourself some grace, work up to it. Okay, last question. Oh, Sean, thank you. He says, Erica, you're on point as always. Thank you. Okay, this is a really Michael Rodriguez. This will be our last one. He says, so I've dated this girl for 3 months and things seem to go good, but she constantly needs reassurance that I love her. Even when I tell her, it seems it's always brought up. And I ask why she always asks, because it's become an argument. So it's not fair to you if she's not willing to have that conversation with you first and foremost. So she has to find the courage in her own voice to be responsible for herself and have the courage. So this is what I would encourage you with, Michael. I would say this, and you might need to come to this video. It's at the 33 mark, and you need to write down what I say and then say this to her. And I think that this will really support you. Say, listen, baby, I really enjoy loving on you. It comes very easy and very natural to me. And I enjoy sharing that with you as much as I can. But I am a bit concerned that it doesn't seem as if it's enough, because you keep asking me for more. And you know that I'm very happy to give that to you. But I want to know, is there something deeper that's going on here? And if there is, it's okay. We can talk about it. Make sure you write that out and share that with her. And let me know. Come back to the next live video and let me know if that supported you. Guys, I love you so much. Remember to check out that Emotional Warrior program. I think for a lot of you guys, some of these questions would really be answered if you just kind of went through this journey for yourself in there. And then we have a private Facebook group that I'm a part of, that I talk to you guys just about every day. So it would be really nice to get to know you guys better in there. Listen, guys, You have what it takes inside of you. I know I'm going to say that because I say it in every video, but that's a question that every man needs answered. That doesn't come from me. It comes from my favorite author. His name is John Eldridge. And he says that a man's question is, do I have what it takes? And so that's why in every video I would say, you have what it takes. You do. I want to answer that question for you guys. And to always remind you guys that you are loved. Like, I have such a heart for you guys. And every time I get on these calls, on these live streams, it's like my heart just opens up so widely to you guys because, people say, how can you love me when you've never met me? It's energy. You can feel people, you can feel them. And so when I hear you guys, I hear your questions and I hear your concerns and the things that are really upsetting you, like my heart goes out to you. And it's the love in me that pours out and connects with the love that's inside of you. So you guys, you are so, so, so loved. You're so loved and you matter. I think that's the biggest thing. I started off with that, with saying that to you guys. Like, I just feel like today, like some of you guys need to hear that today, that you really matter, that the things that are going inside of you, the things that are going on inside, like the questions that you have, the uncertainties that you have, the disappointments that you have, the fear and the trepidation, like all of those things matter. And I think men just need to be reminded of that you matter and what you think matters and how you're feeling matters and your concerns and your worries, like all of these things matter. It's like, I think men get so conditioned to just provide and perform that they never get to hear that they actually matter. It's like almost if you think about a woman who is a mom and like she spends her whole day like cleaning the house, taking care of kids, putting food on the table when the husband comes, like that woman would need to hear, hey, you actually matter. Like, yeah, screw the kids, screw the laundry, screw your husband, screw dinner. You matter. And I think the same thing happens for men because men have been like pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed so much that men don't get told that they just matter and what's going on inside of them matters. So, guys, I love you so much. And thank you for being here. Thank you for trusting me with your heart. Colin Watts said, Arica, thanks for all your help. I have a third date tonight. Woohoo! All since Friday. Woohoo! I followed all your tips too. I had her literally drooling over me on Saturday. She snogged me too. You must be from the UK. I love that. Congratulations. I'm so, so proud of you. All right, guys, I can't wait to see you on my next live video. And I will be sending you lots of love from here, from Bali, Indonesia. You guys take care. Bye, my babes.